Hey, great morning to you. This is Santos Rolon Jr. here in Stockton, California. You're on my channel, Next Level Consulting. It is actually Thursday morning, and I hope that, boy, just like me, I get up. I feel really inspired. This morning I was actually thinking, I actually woke up with some thoughts in my head, as I do. I generally do a lot of writing and thinking, and I love being behind the camera. I enjoy making videos. So I would encourage you today to make your Thursday a super fantastic, terrific, over-the-top Thursday. I have a few things that I want to talk about in this video. I just, I'm a person that my mind is constantly going, my success walk, or like I call it, I love to call it my success walk. It is self-development, mind training that I do upon myself, and I do consider myself a life coach because I've been able to transform my life and my mindset. Now, is everything perfect in my life? I would have to say no. But I don't focus on those things. I focus on the future. I focus on the present. I don't focus on the past. And I do focus a little bit on the imperfections because I want to make things right. I want to make progress every day. Change is all around us. Our bodies are changing, and the world, its systems, and people within the world change. That's a what I call maybe a no-brainer. It's going to happen. But what we really want in our lives is progress. Most people basically, when they jump into the shower, generally when they jump into the shower, they're pretty dirty. I would consider that, when you get into the shower, you're pretty dirty. And sometimes we get the impression that we got to get cleaned up first before we jump into the shower. And I think that's the way that most people think when it comes to change, when it comes to progress or making some changes in their life. Obviously, you have to think that way too, about making changes. The start of progress is actually a decision. But I was just thinking about that this morning. It's kind of funny that you think about it. You're not going to get cleaned up to get into the shower. You get in the shower to get cleaned up. And it kind of breaks my heart when I see family members, or I see people. I go out into the public, even though my time is limited today, because as I mentioned in some of my videos, I have huge dreams. And I have started exactly where I am, and I work with what I have. Part-time marketer, a full-time caretaker. I also have a small tribe at home that I care for, along with my wife, who has a few challenges herself. So people may see me in videos and they may think, well, it's easy for him to change. Let me tell you something. I've been working on myself for a long time, and it took me 49 years to find my true passion. And I made a decision that I will let nobody deter me from what I believe my life purpose is. And this is the direction that I am headed in. I've got a lot of great things happening, but once again, you have to start where you are, and you have to work with what you have. Now, I talked about the 3-step plan, what, when, and how. I just want to focus a little bit on the what. What is it that you really, really want? And basically, it boils down to asking yourself, sitting down, making time, and asking yourself the right questions. And of course, that itself is also a discipline. Asking yourself the questions on a daily basis so that you can find, and sometimes when we start out doing, this question thing, we don't ask ourselves the right question, especially if we're just starting out. So you have to, it's a discipline. You have to continually do it until you start finding the right question to ask yourself. Because that's when you begin to get your answers. And your answers lie right in here. You know, you have the answers within you. God has given you a gift, and it's called the human mind. It's comprised of different areas, you know, the conscious, the subconscious, the right side of the brain, the left side of the brain. So, you know, through all your experiences, through everything, in fact, everything that you've ever gone through in life, every smell, every taste, every experience, every trauma, every great experience, every bad experience, every good whatever, it's all recorded in your mind. Everything is actually recorded in a file cabinet in there. And, you know, when you start asking yourself the right questions, it's amazing how those files begin to pop up to the surface that you can draw from and get your answers that you need to navigate through life's journey. Because let me tell you something, navigating through life's journey is not an easy thing. Especially in 2016, you know. I'm almost 50 years old, and I go back years and I think, wow, you know, I was in the military at 17 years old. I graduated at 17, and I went into the military at 18, so life was really, really different for me at an early age. And I learned a lot in the military. I learned a lot about discipline. I learned a lot about integrity, but there were some things that I didn't learn in the military. And unfortunately, when I got out of the military, I stumbled and I failed tremendously. You know, getting involved with you know, chemicals that obviously we put into our body that make harm to us. And I say by the grace of God, I'm here today. I tell you, man, I've had some very severe close calls. And maybe in another video, in fact, I think I do have videos that I talk about my upbringing and some of the things that I went through, the traumas and the experiences that I went through. So I won't really talk about it in this video because I don't want to make it long. But I really wanted to focus on the fact of taking the first steps, creating belief in yourself by asking yourself the right questions. And it really boils down to that three-step plan that I talked about in one of my other videos. What, when, and how. And, you know, unfortunately, I find that most people are just, they don't plan. They do not plan. They're too busy doing all kinds of frivolous things, you know. And their days just go by. You know, time is extremely valuable. The time that you use up, you can't buy back. You know, you can spend money, you can give it away, and you can get money back. You can recycle money. But you can't recycle time. You know, once your time is gone, it's gone. And you're not going to be able to get it back. That's why I'm so precise when I speak about doing things now. You know, start today. Don't procrastinate. And you know, you may think, you know, you're too busy to sit down and ask yourself the right questions. You're too busy doing a lot of this. You're too busy doing a lot of that. And when you really evaluate your life, when you really evaluate what you're doing, you'll probably find that you're probably wasting a lot of time. And a lot of that time could be turned around and made into useful time. You know, we're driving in the car, we're in front of the light. You could have a pen and paper right there, writing thoughts down. You know, this may sound funny to you, but I've done it and I still do it. When I go to the John, when I go to the bathroom, and I sit down on that little, you know, porcelain tool, I'll pull out my phone and I'll look at my goals and I'll start writing, or I'll have a piece of paper and I'll look at affirmations. I do whatever is necessary to keep my mind at peak performance daily. And those are just a few of the ideas that I do, a few of the little things that I do to keep myself. That's how I started, you know. When I was working, when I was commuting a regular job, because I basically worked from home full time, I would take advantage of those hours on the road. I mean, I would commute sometimes and I'd be on the road for 3-4 hours on the road. And finally I got smart and I turned my car into an educational university, as Zig Ziglar says, you know. Start putting in the CDs, or if you have tape, 8-track in your car or whatever. Actually, I don't think they make 8-tracks anymore. But my point is that your time is valuable and you have to learn how to use your time. And if you don't, basically you're just self-defeating yourself. You know, and that's what it's going to really take in order for you to step up and take your mind to the next level and begin with baby steps. You know, obviously you're not going to be able to revolutionize your entire life in a couple of days, but you can start taking baby steps, doing these little things. You know, a simple project of sitting down for 20 or 30 minutes one time a day and writing down on that paper, what is it exactly that you really want for your life? You know, maybe you're on drugs, maybe you're an alcoholic, maybe you're having problems with your marriage, maybe you're having problems with your children, maybe you're having problems with your job, with your coworkers, and you don't, you know, you're frustrated. And we know what happens when people get frustrated. We see that all in the news. In fact, I don't even watch TV anymore. Most of my work is done through videos. You know, I just educate myself through videos, and you know, that's kind of like what I do. Actually, I'm trying to get away from saying "you know" in my videos. I will be changing that. I just caught myself here, so I won't be doing that anymore for the rest of this video. This is what it's going to take. This is what it's going to take in order for you to get the victory and the mastery over your mindset, and to be able to conquer your speech and your thoughts and have good posture so that you can create real lasting success in your life. And as you begin to change, people begin to change around you. And sometimes they won't change, but that's okay. Don't let that deter you from taking the next step of changing yourself. So, you know, take some time today to really ponder what I'm saying in this video. It's not about me. It's not about what I do. It's not about what I have. It's about what you can do and the potential that you have available to you. Remember, this mind that you have is a gift from God, and it is a very, very powerful tool that you can use to start making changes. So don't wait to get cleaned up to jump in the shower. Evaluate your time. Look at the things that you're doing today. How much time do you spend in front of the TV? You know, how much time do you spend trying to help other people that really aren't doing anything for themselves? You know? Or how much time do you spend just doing frivolous things? You know, imagine if you just take 15 to 20 minutes one time a day, and then you just add to that time. Little by little, you'll find yourself disciplining yourself and moving in the right direction, making progress, making change, lasting, lifelong change. And I'll tell you, that's what I call living, and living the dream. So, with that said, I'm going to end my video. I plan on making my day a super fantastic, terrific, over-the-top day. And see, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't use the and you know. Believe me, that's going to change in my videos. I catch myself. I'm starting to really catch myself and notice some of these little bad habits that I have. I'm into peak performance. I want to radicalize my life. And I just want to be, like the person on the street corner setting himself on fire so that others can see. Of course, I don't want them to set themselves on fire, but I want them to make progress in their own lives. So, you know, oh, I caught myself. Hug your child, encourage your child today. Tell a random stranger that you meet somewhere that you appreciate them. And I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this video. And remember to make every day super fantastic. Terrific, over-the-top day, daily, in spite of and because of. Make that your mantra and see what it begins to do for you. And always remember to smile whenever and however much you can, because that's also going to make a change. You know, just smiling can start a change in your life. With that said, this is Santos Rolon Jr. on Next Level Consulting. I will see you on my next video. Comment below. Comment below. I'm just getting out of bed. I'm still in my pajamas here. Comment below subscribe to my channel. I've got great things happening, and I'm just going to keep making videos and promoting myself and helping people make progress all around the world that see my videos. I'll see you on my next video.